Today I'll be testing and comparing the GHD Duet $400 with the Revlon Air Straight $80. These are both modern day versions of the wet to straight hair tools that you may remember from the early 2000s. But in 2023, these two brands have claimed that they've gotten this concept right. I don't know if you remember the wet to straight stylers from the Y2K era, but they claimed to be able to dry and straighten your hair in one step, but did they work? Absolutely not. I remember running that through my damp hair and just hearing sizzling and cracking and seeing smoke and being left with straw hair. But apparently brands have the technology to finally make this concept a reality that works this time. But is this a tool that you should be splurging on? I mean, $400, that's an investment. Or can you save money and get the drugstore version at $80 or less with coupons and sales? That is what we're gonna try to find out today. But first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Miranda. Welcome to my channel where we talk all things budget beauty. If that sounds interesting to you, then become the newest member of the Slashed Squad by hitting subscribe and the bell icon. First, let me share some points about the Revlon Air Straight. This is $79.99 full price, although I got mine on sale on Amazon for $50 and it wasn't even like a Black Friday sale. It was just a random sale they were having. This claims it helps your hair maintain 100% of its natural moisture while drying and straightening it. I'll be comparing the Revlon to the GHD Duet Styler. This is $3.99 full price, and that's only $100 less than the Dyson Air Straight, which is the same type of tool. It's definitely the highest end version. So this is still a little bit cheaper than that, but I mean, it's definitely still a splurge too. This claims it will dry and straighten your hair with no damage, 2 times more shine, and it was an Allure Best of Beauty Award winner. Now, a couple similarities between these tools. They both have a drying function, but then they also have a finishing mode where you're supposed to finish off your style using that mode in order to maximize shine and smoothness. So it's really kind of a 2-step routine, no matter which tool you choose. So let me roll it back to when I washed my hair earlier this morning and we'll get into the product testing. All right, so I've washed my hair. It's been sitting in this towel, which tends to do a good job at absorbing the excess moisture, but it is for sure still damp. I would say with any heat or drying tool, you should start with damp hair. Never try to go in with any type of dryer on sopping wet hair. All right, so I have both the GHD Duet Style and the Revlon Air Straight. Now what's interesting is despite the Revlon being noticeably thinner in terms of like the plate dryer head, they are pretty equivalent in weight. Another thing you'll notice about the Revlon is that we have a comb design, and I believe these teeth do heat up. And then you can see the dryer plate in there. With the GHD Duet, we just have plates on either side, and then you can see the dryer vents on either side in the center. I'm gonna go ahead and put the Eva NYC Main Magic in my hair. This is a heat protectant, defrizzer, etc. Let's start with the Revlon Air Straight. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on, let's say medium air drying. Oh, okay, so it only activates when you close the plates together. I like that a lot, okay. Okay, one pass and I feel like a lot of the moisture content is out. Let's do one more. I feel like it is still slightly damp. We're obviously seeing some wave happening here. How many passes is it gonna take? Because that's definitely an important factor. Okay, I try to go a little slower on that one. I don't know, it still feels damp up here, even though I'm holding at the root. And obviously, there's some wave to it. Now this, I feel like, is a very manageable piece of hair. I mean, we're at about like 1.5 inch section. Another one. Okay, toward the front, I feel like we are totally dry and straight. Toward the back, not so much. So I'm wondering, do I have to work in smaller sections than this? I mean, I feel like this is already a really small section. Okay, let's test out the GHD. Okay, we've turned it on. But how does it, oh. Okay, so unlike the Revlon one, this one's always gonna be blowing. Okay, I just wanted to pause because this dryer is on regardless of whether you're clamping or not, but I wanted to assess this first pass. I feel like we're getting somewhere faster with this. Like it already feels a lot less damp than this did after one pass. And just to note, there's no like dial or heat settings on this. It's just one level of air and heat. And then there is this button here to just turn on the straightening plates for that like finishing touch I was talking about. So let's go in with a second pass. All right, so here's two passes, and I feel like we are at the equivalent or maybe even smoother than we got with the Revlon on, what did I do, 4 or 5? I'm not hearing like sizzling on either of these. I did see a little bit of steam come up on the GHD side, but that's just the heat protectant, that's not my hair. But let's keep going. I do wanna do one more pass with this just because I see a little bit of wave at the bottom. Y'all, let me check something, hold on. See, here's the thing. With the GHD Duet Styler, it is using the air blow as well as the hot plates at the same time, unless you use Shine Shot, which is just the hot plates. Now with the Revlon one, I had it set to air only, but there is an air and hot plate option. So I feel like I should actually adjust this to make it a little bit more similar to the GHD by using the air and hot plate option. So let's move back to the Revlon with that information now and see if that setting works a little bit better and more like the GHD. Yeah, this feels more similar to the GHD now, like where we're at in terms of the texture and dryness. Now the Revlon has entered the building. I think now I'm seeing more of a fair comparison here. I'm gonna redo this front section. Now we've got a competition. All right, definitely pushing this to its limits. This is 2 passes with probably double the hair as our first section, and you can definitely see there's a little bit more wave left to it after 2 passes compared to this front section. And I can feel just like the tiniest bit of moisture. For the most part, it's pretty dry, just kind of towards these ends. Some of the hair just kind of clumped together and held that moisture in. Here are both sides dried, and I'm not seeing a huge difference. Certainly not over $200 difference. Now I am gonna do like the finishing touch, and I am going to place the Revlon one on just the hot plate option, just for any like leftover frizzies that might be happening. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with the GHD by using the Shine Shot mode. So by pressing that for 3 seconds, it's turned off the air and it's heating up just the plates. Now before I kind of went on my natural hair journey, I had been using GHD straighteners for like a decade. They were definitely a splurge that was worth it for me because they always kept my hair way healthier, but gave me beautiful, like silky results. Interesting. Okay, hold on. I am seeing a difference towards the ends. I feel like the GHD ends do look a bit more polished than the Revlon ends. The Revlon ends are just a little bit more frizzy. These ones seemed like they got smoothed a bit better. So I was just using the Revlon tool in back, as you could tell, and I read this tag that says important because it was like flying in front of my face. And it says to only use the plate settings on dry hair, which includes the air plus heated plates setting. So that is definitely a little bit of a wrench in this comparison because I felt like I was getting comparable results with the Revlon on the heat and plate setting, but now I'm learning I'm not supposed to be doing that on damp hair. It says by using the plates on damp hair, you can cause damage, which is literally the whole point of these tools, was that they weren't supposed to cause damage. So that definitely tips the scales a little bit because the GHD is using both of them at the same time without damage because the heat is like on a low setting on the plates. So yeah, I wanted to share with you my discovery in real time as I process what this is gonna mean. I am gonna switch this back to high heat only with no plate heat so that we can finish it off and get a better idea of how these are supposed to be used. I also kind of want to figure out whether or not I can curl with these tools, because especially here in front with my bangs, which were cut to be worn wavy and curly, I don't think it's gonna look good if I just stick straight, flatten them out. So I'm gonna attempt to like add a bit of shape to them while drying. Oh, we got a little bit of a Farrah flip here. The Revlon one, you can definitely add some curl. Oh yeah. Okay, so it's possible to add a little bit of shape with the GHD Duet. It's just a little bit more awkward. It might take a little more getting used to for me, but because this is so wide and flat, I felt it more difficult to get like a nice turn of the wrist and keeping the hair like within the plates. Like you can see on the Revlon side, it definitely, it added that curl, and I could see myself curling my whole head. I feel like this would add maybe more loose waves, but you know, again, could be a learning curve situation, but Revlon wins in that department for me. All right, y'all, I am befuddled because I really do feel that each of these tools has its pros and cons. I mean, I think I speak for everyone in the room that this side, the expensive side that I use the GHD Duet Styler on, is straighter. It's sleeker. I do feel that this side looks more polished. However, I really like the shape that I was able to get on this side with the Revlon tool when I went in and kind of curled or waved the front face framing. With the way that my bangs are cut, like I need them to wave backwards. I want my face framing to have shape to it, and I was able to achieve that a lot better with the Revlon tool. And this is a tool that I could see myself adding waves throughout all of my hair, making this a bit more versatile. Like I said, it's probably not impossible with the GHD Styler. It's probably more of a learning curve, but in general, this shape isn't necessarily conducive to creating curls. You can probably see up at the top, there is a bit of frizz on both sides, though I do feel like there's more on the Revlon side. My opinion on the Revlon as a whole went through like a roller coaster of emotions throughout this video, because when I found out that we could have the air on at the same time as the heated teeth and plates, I felt like we were getting much more similar results to the GHD, but then I saw this dang tag that said don't do that on damp hair. And I think without the plates running at the same time as the Air, this isn't doing as good of a job as this, because this does have the plates going at the same time at a safe temperature to be on damp hair. Now here is what each side looked like after I was finished with the drying portion. I had not done the finishing mode on either side. I would say the difference that stood out to me between both sides were definitely the ends of my hair. On the Revlon side, they just did not look as smooth and finished. I think here you can definitely see that the GHD already looks pretty finished. Like I could have left that side alone and it would have looked done. And then this is what they both look like after their finishing modes. So on the Revlon side, I used just the hot plate mode, and on the GHD side, I used the shine shot mode. There's definitely a bit of polish. There's a little bit less frizz overall. I didn't feel like it made a huge difference on the GHD side again. It definitely made more of a difference on the Revlon side. Now, earlier today, I did an Instagram poll. I wanted to see if my followers could tell which side was the $400 side and which side they just thought looked better. And on both of them, the results favored the GHD side. So here's the question I'm gonna pass on to you, and I hope you'll answer in the comments. If you were to buy a wet to straight styler, would you go for the inexpensive version, even with its shortcomings? Would this work well enough for you? Or would you save up for the high-end version because of the difference in results? Today's shout out goes to ELH1977. Thanks for being a member of the Slashed Squad, and join me over in this video next where I share my no brushes makeup routine that I use when I travel. I'll see you over there. Bye.